Where are you
Yes,
speaking from? Where are you located physically?
sir, in Ashok Nagar from West Bengal, sir.
Ashok Nagar, West Bengal. Okay. Now, Bratati, you are an agricultural scientist. You did your PG in agriculture and seed science
Yes,
technology.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, good, good. Not many agricultural scientists appear for civil services, as I have seen. Anyway, good. You are here for the. Is this your first personality test with UPSC?
Yes, sir. This is my first men's and first personality test, sir.
Oh, okay. Good, good to hear that. Okay, tell me, Bratati, what your name sounds not very familiar to me. What does it mean?
Sir, in Bengali, the term Bratati used to denote the climbers and creepers, the herbaceous plants.
Oh, so you say that you are dependent on somebody else to grow.
Uh, Sir, I give much more priority to the internal aspirations of these types of plants that helps to see the dream despite having their own physical weaknesses, sir.
Okay. Tell me, which creepers did you plant at home or in your college?
Sir, as of now, I haven't planted any creepers, but I have planted many trees, sir.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay, okay. Now, you tell me that there is something called creamy layer and non-creamy layer in OBCs. What is that concept? Explain to me. I don't know.
Yes, sir. Sir, as of my knowledge, sir, the creamy layers belongs to those peoples whose family income is more than 8 lakh. Earlier it was 7.5 lakh, but I think in the revised edition it is 8 lakh. And non-creamy layer comprises those people whose family income is less than that, sir.
What about those who are employed by the government?
Sorry, sir.
What about those who are employed by the government? The income
Uh,
criteria applies to them too.
Sir, the candidate, it will not apply to the candidate, but I think that if the candidate's parents are there in the government service, then also it can apply, sir.
Okay, right. Now, you are a creamy layer or a non-creamy layer.
Sir, non-creamy layer, sir.
So, what is the benefit of being one?
Sir, as per the rules, non-creamy layer candidates can avail for the reservation benefits in the government jobs and in education sector, sir.
Okay, good, good. So, tell me, you are an agricultural scientist, and what is the rainfall of, say, your state, average rainfall, and your district?
Sir, I have to check the exact figure, sir.
Okay, right. Now, did you really go and stay in many villages while doing your graduation or post graduation? And if so, what are your experiences with reference to agriculture related and also non agricultural related issues faced by the villagers?
Yes, sir. Sir, I haven't stayed for long. However, during the ROI, that is Rural Awareness Work Experiences program, we have visited many remotest villages of Birbhum district, many KVKs, thereafter many administration offices. Sir, for my agricultural knowledge, I have seen how at the grassroots level farmers are doing their farming, and sir, how they are getting benefited from the government schemes, what are the crops they are growing. And sir, for my non agricultural experiences, I would like to say that it was the first time when I realized that farmers are much more experienced than us, and the students are only having the bookish knowledge. Means I had the bookish knowledge at that time. I that realized, sir.
Okay. Now, I understand that you are working as a food safety officer in West Bengal. What is
Sir,
your
I have
job
just
profile?
joined, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, I have just joined after my mains, but however, I have taken the extraordinary leave just after completion of my field training. So, during the course of training, my limited exposure to the seniors members helped me to know that mostly the inspection of food business operators, whether they have registration, whether they have applied for the licenses or not, this is one major part. Other than this, we have to we have to say, we have to suggest, give recommendation to the designated officers of our district to take any particular action against food business operators, and all these things are mainly the job profiles, sir.
So you are part of which department? Health department or home department or which department?
Sir, it comes under West Bengal Health Recruitment Board, sir.
Okay, but then if you are a regulator of food, don't you think you will do better if you are under the police department, given some uniform?
Sorry, sir.
Don't you think you will be more effective if you are part of police department and if you are given a uniform to regulate?
Okay. uh, Sir, whatever service will be, I will try to utilize my knowledge, and with if the police will be, then also it will be a very good opportunity for me to serve, sir. Wherever department I will be, I know that I will give my best, sir.
No, my question is, with a uniform, will you be able to be more effective, or without a uniform, you will do better?
Okay. Uh, Sir, Sir, I think that whether I will be having the uniform or not uniform, I will do my best. But definitely, if I will have the uniform, then the public whom I going to serve, they may show me much more respect, sir, because in our society, it somehow indirectly or directly, there is a perception that uniform jobs means it's a direct recognition that the public are giving, sir. So I think it's not depends on me, but it depends on the public whom I am going to serve, sir.
Okay. Finally, tell me, with your experience, how is the Prime Minister's agricultural insurance scheme working in the country?
Yes, sir. Sir, as of now, Prime Minister has Fasal Bima Yojana, FBY, and sir, Prime Minister Kisan, that is PM Kisan, is there, a financial assistance of rupees 6,000 in 3 installments. Sir, these are two financial assistance schemes, and many governments, many state governments are taking part into these schemes and running into their state governments. However, sir, it has also some loopholes if we will consider that it is not that much comprehensive. So I think, sir, means all means most of the provisions are good. However, if we will look into the we if we will we can, or central government can expand the horizon of farmers, and it can include the agricultural laborers, landless laborers, then it will be much more better, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Bratati.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, typically, children take to the profession of their, parents, most particularly the father. Okay, and then it's somehow a paradox that in our country, the farmers, children do not like to follow the footsteps of their, father or parents. So how do
Yes, sir.
you remedy this situation?
Yes, sir. Sir, there are many impacts, many factors because of which agriculture is no more a profitable business, and many youngsters are just moving away from it. Sir, I think we can bring certain solutions towards giving much more impetus to the agricultural sector into new direction. For example, the startup culture. Now, as per Economic Survey of India, there are more than 10,000 registered startups in agriculture. So we can promote our youngsters, we can skill the youngsters so that they can improve the agricultural sector by infusing technology. So secondly, I think to address the climate crisis in the agricultural sector, we should promote diversification of agriculture. And thirdly, I think, sir, the FPO promotion needs to be there, farmer producer organization, so that the youngsters can more youngsters can come together and can address the current issues in agriculture, sir. These would be three probable solutions, as I can think of now.
Yeah, from what you said, I would like to pick up the issue of startup culture. Uh, I think much is being said about startup, but the ground reality is something otherwise. And then not many startups are really surviving after the initial enthusiasm. They are dying some natural death. So, what do you think is still wanting in the startup ecosystem in our country?
Sir, you have rightly said that many startups are dying after a certain time of initial enthusiasm. Sir, main problems are regarding the skilling, and sir, second problem is that they don't have much more exposure to the market system. And thirdly, sir, the internal mechanism, because many of them don't have that much brand promotion, skilling, and all these things. And fourthly, the major part is the capital, lack of capital. So I think, sir, there is a need to bridge the gap between angel investors and these new startups. I think government should bring certain initiatives so that we can attract investments into the startup system, and we can bridge the gap by creating something, by attracting much more private investors into the system, sir. And second would be the skilling of the startups, sir, I think.
Okay, yeah. Typically, we generally tend to hear that the farmer generally resorts to what is called a distress sale of the
Yes, sir.
produce. Why do you think, as someone who studied agriculture right up to the post-graduation level, and also, you said you had a visit to the rural work experience and all that. So, what is that, that is causing this distress sale? And in your understanding, how we can, prevent this?
Yes, sir. So there are many factors. First is the
Mhm.
cobweb phenomenon. Sir, means in our Indian scenario, farmer used to decide which crops to grow on the basis of past record. So this creates a cobweb phenomenon because and a demand supply gap. So second is regarding the supply chain disruption due to ongoing global crisis and climate change crisis. And third is that predominant rice and wheat based monocropping systems in the Indian scenario. So these are some major factors. However, sir, talking some of the solutions, I think that both the upstream issues and downstream issues in the
Mhm.
agriculture system needs to be addressed. Sir, in the downstream level, the marketing can be made much more better by integration of enam platforms, by introducing one nation one market concept, by also by introducing certain provisions of the earlier farm bills, by allowing the farmer to sell their produce outside the kisan mandi, so that they can get good price. And in the upstream challenges, I think, sir, the we should promote the concept of FPO that I already have mentioned, farmer producer organization, so that many farmers can come together, they can pool in their land and then can go for farming. In this way, their bargaining capacity will also be improved, sir.
Yeah, I
So I
think
think,
yeah, you mentioned about ENAM, but it looks like it is more hyped actually. And typically, farmers they sell it to the local trader or to the nearby rice miller who actually comes and lifts the entire produce from the field itself at the rate offered by him. So why do you think the ENAM has not really taken off?
uh, sir, can you repeat your question once again, sir?
Yeah, see,
Yes,
much is being talked about ENAM, but the
yes, sir.
ground reality is most of the farmers they sell their produce to the person who actually financed them, who invariably happens to be a trader or a middleman or a rice miller who is located in the nearby town.
Yes, sir.
Ah.
Sir, there are multiple challenges is in the Enam platform itself. Sir, first is that despite having the Enam platform, the farmers are having not having much more awareness about its utility. And second is the technological disruption. Even if they are going to access the platform, they are facing technological difficulties due to lack of literacy and lack of proper awareness and skills regarding the technological field. And thirdly, sir, sometimes in the rural area, due to digital divide, many Enam platform has not even reached. And sir, fourth is that there means even after introduction of Enam platform, we are seeing the cartelization, because there are many intermediaries who are just putting up the data in the Enam platform and doing the business in the physical mode only. So it
Okay.
means these are certain problems, sir.
Okay, good. I'm sure, as a seed scientist, you must have heard about Vandana Shiva. Vandana Shiva?
Sir, I think I have to check, sir.
Oh, come on. I see. Vandana Shiva is an activist who is, who has been talking about farmers' freedom, seed freedom.
Okay, sir.
Oh, you haven't heard?
Sorry.
Genetically
Sorry, sir,
modified.
I have not.
Oh, I see.
Somehow
Quite
I have
fair.
missed. I will check it, sir. I have missed somehow, sir.
She is a very well-known activist.
Okay,
Anyway,
sir. Thank you, sir.
now Bratati,
Yes, sir.
I was also wondering, sometimes when people say it's called a breeder seed, it's called a foundation seed. What is the distinction between the two?
Yes, sir. Sir, breeder seed is the mother seed obtained from the nucleus seed, and it's prepared by the sponsoring breeder or any ICAR institution, and the progeny of the breeder seed gives us the foundation seed. And from foundation seed, then we grow certified seed. And sir, talking some other distinction, the breeder seed has the golden yellow tag with 12 into 6 centimeter, and foundation seeds has sir. Sir, I think it's white tag.
Yeah, you are right. You are right.
Yes.
White. Okay.
Yes,
And
sir.
finally, what is the distinction between, say, a certified seed and a certified and truthfully labeled seed?
Yes, sir. Sir, certified seeds are the progeny of the foundation seeds with a azure blue tag, and sir, it has the proper guidelines as seed standards into it. However, sir, truthfully labeled seeds are those seeds which are not registered as per the section, I think section 5 of Seeds Act 1966. However, the seeds produced by the other farmers or private parties and have only germination percentage and purity percentage standards into it, sir.
No, of the two, which one is voluntary, which one is compulsory?
Yes, sir. Sir, I think sir, TLS, that is truthfully labeled seed, is voluntary and not compulsory. I think so. I have to check those, sir.
Okay. Okay, that's it. Fine. Sir, back to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bratati,
Yes, sir.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you are from 24 Parganas,
Yes, sir.
West Bengal. Is the immigration problem is acute in 24 Parganas? Immigration from Bangladesh.
Sir, as of my awareness, the immigration problem is still there in certain areas which connects the border areas with Bangladesh. For example, in Boshirat, Petrapol, these areas are having the immigration problem till now, sir. However, sir, I think that and I have, as per my awareness, government has also taken many steps to check the issue, sir.
If the government has taken steps, still immigration, there's a lot of write-ups in the newspapers. And among all the Indian states, only West Bengal is prominently figuring for a lot of Bangladesh refugees coming illegally. What do you think can be done in this aspect?
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, I think first probable solution would be to integration with the domestic law agencies of the neighboring state Bangladesh, so that both the governments, Indian government and government of Bangladesh, can take a hand-holding approach to resolve these issues. And secondly, I think that the local men must be encouraged to become the informers, police informers, so that and they should involve in the public policy, so that they can come out with this immigration, they can raise their voice, and only and in that way I think then the ground level solution can be brought, sir.
Is the border between Bangladesh and India, so far as the West Bengal is concerned, is it clearly demarcated?
Sir, I have to check it, sir. I have to check it, sir.
Okay, coming to West Bengal, there is a lot
Yes,
of
sir.
newspaper reports earlier regarding the controversy between the state government and central government, particularly on the
Yes.
issue of the governor.
Yes, sir.
Why it is so?
Yes, sir. Sir, there are multiple issues, and it is a long-standing debate. After the independence only, we are seeing these types of issues in the cooperative federalism. So the main issues first is regarding the appointment of governor. Sometimes the incumbent chief minister of the state government of West Bengal says that he or she is not exactly aware before the appointment of the governor. Second is regarding the vice chancellor appointment. Sometimes, due to some misinformation and mismanagement, there is a tussle. The third is regarding the some state day celebration. Recently, our state government is in the favor of declaring first day of Bengali Navavarsh, Bengali New Year, to declare the state day, and the governor is in the view of declaring 20th June as the state day. So these are some minute issue due to which, sir, these issues in the cooperative federalism we are seeing as of now, sir.
Do you think the governor system is still relevant to India? Because the governor system formed when the Britishers wanted to have their representative. But today we are having our own representative, elected representatives. What is the relevance today?
Sir, I think that despite having challenges, governance system is still relevant because India is a federal country. And sir, if you will give me permission, then I can share us a personal example to explain these things, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
please go ahead.
Sir, like in the family system, we see that in the joint family system or the traditional family system, we have seen that how the elder of the house, like the grandfather or great grandfather, was even though he or she was even though he was physically weak, but in our traditional culture, we have seen how the younger generation has always given him respect. So in this way, in the similar concept, I think these governance systems somehow creates a checks and balance system, and and helps the state government to take not to take any arbitrary action. In this respect, I think it governance system helps in assuring the cooperative federalism, sir.
Yeah, but your example, joint family system is okay. But here
Yes,
the
sir.
controversy is your great grandfather is not taking sides with anybody. He is a well-wisher of entire family. But here allegations against the governors are they are acting as the two representatives of the central government or party in power. Whereas your great-grandfather will not act for any party or any party in power. He will act for the family. So the problem is the governor is not acting to the convenience of the state government. So what is to be done on this? If the governor says he won't act, what is the remedy?
Yes, sir. In that respect, I think we should follow the recommendations given by the earlier commissions like Sarkaria Commission or Punchi Commission, that the governor should not have any inclination towards any political parties. He or she should not be a political representative and should not have any records in the political field. And the state government, especially the chief minister, should be aware beforehand, before his or her appointment. I think these are some recommendations that needs to be followed, needs to be implemented in ground to resolve these issues in near future, sir.
Yeah, but in the case of Kerala, you can see governor said he will sit on those bills which are sent to him for signing. So he may sit for few days, he may sit for few weeks, he may sit for 1 year. Then what will happen to the chief minister of the state government?
Sir, I think that this is really some unfortunate issues which needs to be resolved. And I think, sir, Honorable Judiciary has also given its statement that there should not be a long-standing or pending assent, and the assent should have some time. I think, sir. These pillars of governments, or these pillars institutions of India uh, needs to be work in a coordinated manner to resolve these issues, sir.
Are you sure the judiciary has given the time limit? Because I thought they
Uh,
have gone to Supreme Court now. What is as soon as possible, which is written in the governor's power? As soon as possible. Is it 1 week? Is it 10 days? Is it 2 months? Is it 4 months? Is there any period laid down? How long a governor can keep the bill pending in his office without signing?
yes, sir. I think there is no time limit as of now, sir. Has
Yeah.
not been declared, but it is a necessary thing, sir. I think to ensure the actual intent of cooperative federalism, sir.
Okay, good. Yeah, your agriculture, you have chosen agriculture as your subject for
Yes,
the
sir.
mains actually.
Yes, sir.
We talked about green revolution. We brought a lot of reforms in the agriculture sector, but every time you have agitations and processions. Like last year we had farmers agitation Delhi itself, in the neighborhood of Delhi. Why it is happening in spite of all the reforms?
Uh, Sir, first is regarding the agriculture subject. It comes as a state subject. So there is a perception among certain state governments that in this way center is encroaching their rights. And second is that farmers are all, there is a lack of perception management among the farmers, because they are much more they are much more apprehensive about these reforms. For example, in the recent farm bills that was withdrawn, farmer had the apprehension that if this will be brought by the central government, then eventually it will hamper the existing MSP system. So and unfortunately, government could not address this apprehension due to some issues. And thirdly, sir, farmers somehow get comfort with this existing system. So I think there should have a high holding approach, means not high holding approach. There should be an approach to manage the perception among the farmers. And I think state governments and other stakeholders involving scientists and professors needs to be collaborated to bring the good provisions of the farm bill in a pilot basis, so that we can again uh, reform the existing issues.
Very good. Over to
Yeah.
Shomshet.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, BRATATI.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Yeah. Now, since you're a master's in agriculture and you're done a lot of research, I think the recent news that Dr. M.S. Swaminathan has been conferred with the Bharat Ratna should be a matter of pride. And we're one of the first, I think, agriculture scientists to be conferred this. Now, please tell me, as an informed agri researcher, he is considered as one of the main architects of the Green Revolution.
Yes, sir.
Tell me impartially what is his contribution, and also what is the criticism that he faces for his contribution?
Yes, sir. Sir, other than Green Revolution, MS Swaminathan has made significant contribution in other areas of agriculture. For example, sir, he has given the concept of evergreen revolution. Secondly, sir, he has given recommendations to bring reforms in the MSP system. Thirdly, sir, he was very much vocal about mangrove conservation. And fourthly, sir, he was also very much aware about the soil health degradation, and he has given multiple statements to promote the soil health and soil conservation technique. And sir, talking about some criticism, the main criticisms were regarding the green revolution itself, because over time we have seen that how the earlier green revolution has made responsible to create present day challenges, and so
Mhm.
secondly, our major criticism was also regarding his recommendations in the MSP system,
Mhm.
because he was in favor of bringing C2 plus 50% formula,
Okay.
to change the existing A2 plus FL formula. However, sir, government stated that if this formula will be tinkered, then it will create certain unnecessary problems in the longer run. So these are
Okay.
some few criticisms, sir, as
No,
of my knowledge.
no, but there are a lot of charges against him that there is germplasm, which was taken away by several international institutions like the International Rice Research Institution and CGIAR system. In fact, he was the Director General of IRRI for a long time. So also the entry of a lot of multinationals into India in terms of providing technology or whatever. He has been in a way responsible for all that to happen. So do you see that as a advantage or a disadvantage, given the circumstances that India was during the 70s and 80s?
So the green revolution thing, sir.
Germplasm, there's a big story in the late 80s of the great gene robbery and how India
Okay,
lost
sir.
a lot of germplasm because, many of these international rice institutions, international wheat institution, they took away India's, germplasm to preserve in the name of exchange, preserve. And Indians do not have a lot of germplasm till 2000 or whatever. After that only we are developing our own germplasm banks.
Okay, sir. Sir, I am not exactly aware of these issues, sir. However, as per my general understanding, the germplasm conservation and the initiative brought by MS Swaminathan has helped India to ensure its food security at a very crisis time during 1960s, that decade.
Okay.
But sir, if there is certain issues that I am not exactly aware that, but if the germplasm were conserved without any permission, then it was a wrong step. However, sir, I think I need to research much more about these issues, sir.
Okay, now tell me, what are the three or four, negative fallouts of Green Revolution? Everything was not, great about the Green Revolution.
Yes, sir. Sir, first is regarding the agrochemical use, because with the introduction of green revolution, we started farmers started using agrochemicals in an increasing manner. However, in later portion, we are seeing that there is a tendency of indiscriminate use of fertilizers and pesticides, which is eventually causing damage to the soil health. And second is the irrigation, because we have seen that how in the northwestern part of India, where actually green revolutions were bought, now they are facing a challenge regarding groundwater table depletion.
Okay.
And sir, these are two major challenges. And other than this, sir, social problem is also one thing, because because the green revolution was brought not in an uniform manner to the whole India, rather to certain portions only.
Okay.
So these are
Is,
some problems.
is this evergreen revolution a solution to this negative fallouts of green revolution?
Uh, Sir, these evergreen revolution
Really?
is a solution, sir. However, to some extent, it can only resolve the current issues. It can promote the concept of food sustainability and sustainable agriculture in longer run. However, sir, I think it is not sufficient, because to address the current issues, other than evergreen revolution, also we need to focus on the technological aspects, social aspects, and other marketing challenges to bring a holistic reform in the agriculture sector, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now, the next issue of technology, given the nature of agriculture, land holdings, the economic strengths of farmers, do you think the introduction of genetic engineering, genetic products, and also GMOs is appropriate in the Indian context?
Sir, it is appropriate, provided the negative fallouts of these GMOs are taken into consideration. Sir, it has both prospects and challenges. Talking about some prospects, yes, it will help India to cut down its import dependency on edible oil. If we will allow GM mustard, it will help to address the need of food security in the near future. It will also help us to give more focus to climate resilient agriculture concept. However, sir, at the same time, as Economic Survey of India way back in 2017 has said that we should not allow the terminator gene technology.
Mhm.
And sir, like monocropping or monopoly of the certain private farm should not be there if we will allow these GM crops.
No, but as an informed agriculture, student with a master's, do you think the environmental groups and the anti groups are denying Indian farmers the best of technology?
Sir, the concern of the environmentalists and plant botanists are also true, because allowing GM crops may affect the may affect the traditional crop varieties, may impact the uh, pollinators, behavior, and also can create biosafety concerns. However, sir, I think that proper research and development should be there, and I think all the institution involving in the GM research needs to be
Mhm.
give certain assurance that these GM crops is not going to harm the biodiversity and biosafety.
No, no. See, a lot of research has been done already. Several GM crops have been approved globally. And at one side you are trying not to allow these GM crops in India, but the other side you are importing and eating. Most of us, are eating GM products in the market. Now, this policy doesn't seem to be in tune with the interests of the consumer or the farmer.
Sir, I think that any progressive step at the initial, faces certain challenges, and GM crop is somehow at the crossroads now, as of now. Sir, I think that we can bring the introduction of GM technology not not with any knee-jerk approach. Rather, it should be in a gradual manner. For
Mhm.
example, we can introduce this technology first for the high value crops, like in the fruits or vegetables, and gradually we should move towards the food grain crops, and all these things. However, sir, at the same time, public and private sector institution needs to be collaborated. We
Okay,
should
okay,
not, yes, sir.
okay. Now, are you aware of the more recent Supreme Court stand on GM mustard?
Uh, sir, sir, as of last, I have seen that there were some issues going on. The government is in favor, but Supreme Court. However, I have to check the recent updates, sir.
No, the government in the form of the GEAC from the ministry has already approved it last year. Okay. Now, coming to West Bengal, you are from the North 24 Parganas district, you know. Now,
Yes,
in this district, there has been a problem of arsenic contamination of groundwater for a very, very long time. Now, how is it being controlled? And if you are given the responsibility of tackling this, how would you go about doing it?
yes, sir. Sir, it's a really problematic issues. However, our government, West Bengal government, has taken some promising steps by providing pipe supply of water. There are some schemes that are integrating with Jal Jeevan Mission to provide every household the healthy potable water. Sir, if I will ever get the opportunity to resolve this issue, my first would be the identification of the problematic areas. Means what are the arsenic high areas. So once I will be identifying the area, then my second step will be to involve stakeholders who are expert about these issues, to resolving these issues, and after taking their information, their suggestion, then I will go for the policy development or policy formulation, how to address these issues. And simultaneously, I will also try to ensure the public about this menace, like black foot disease and all these things, and I will try to aware them about these health risks. So these would be some major steps, sir.
Now, would you, tackle the health risks, and what are the health risks that arsenic is manifesting in?
Yes, sir. As of my awareness, there is one disease, that is black foot disease, caused by arsenic contamination.
Okay. Okay. Now, you are an avid, watcher of the movies on YouTube. Oh my God, an exemplary movie made in recent times.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
no, YouTube seems to be having a lot of influence in the recent past, according to statistics. I think it is just number 2 after Facebook in terms of social media. Now,
Yes, sir.
do you think social media impact needs to be regulated, or it should enjoy freedom?
Sir, I think that the freedom should be there with reasonable ground of restriction also, because
What is reasonable? What is reasonable and unreasonable?
sir, means like sir, there is already certain provisions where we can report if there is any abusive content in the YouTube, and misleading things. For answer, so these types of things, means there should be certain provisions which will clearly mention that if the content will have certain abusive content, or some fake information or misleading information, that should be checked properly before putting into the social media.
Who
And
should
that
check
should be done.
Who should check it?
Sir,
Is there any
firstly,
regulator now?
yes, sir.
Is there any regulator now?
Sir, I am not exactly aware regarding the YouTube, but recently government also brought certain social media regulatory intermediaries through the IT Regulation Amendment Act 2021, I suppose, sir, where significant social media intermediaries were supposed to form a team to check these activities. However, sir, as of regarding YouTube, I have to check whether there is any particular
No.
regulator or not.
So the union government is trying to, put some curbs on OTT platforms. Now, according to you, should self-regulation be the norm, or the government should be the regulator? And if knowing the regulatory mechanisms in government, do you think they function well in the interest of freedom of expression, freedom of art, and all these things that we would all love to enjoy as citizens?
Sir, self-regulation should be a topmost priority. However, sir, we at the same time, I think we should also have certain mechanism that in case of extreme cases, in some extreme cases, if that will include certain scenes or incidences that may create public disharmony among the public, or can harm the public welfare, then I think government should step in. I think that the provision should be cleared. Provision should be clearly defined. And I think multiple stakeholders who are knowledgeable in this sector needs to be involved. Their suggestions needs to be taken properly before making these types of provisions.
Or perhaps an independent regulator would be more welcome.
Sir, I think we can introduce some hybrid arrangements, like a self-regulation along with some independent regulator. Means we should not put our egg only onto one sector. Rather, we should specify or segregate our norms and provisions, so that both self-regulation and independent regulation criteria can act as a checks and balances on each other, sir.
Okay. That was very nice talking to you, Bratati. Over to Balu.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Bratati.
Good morning, sir.
I see that you've been appointed as a food safety officer, even though you're on leave, I'm told, right?
Yes, sir. Recently, yes, sir.
Okay. What was that controversy on the Bonvita ad?
Sir, I am not aware, sir.
Okay. The second thing is, street food in most places not very hygienic. Do you think it should be banned? Street food should be banned? And if it is to be banned, how will you go about implementing a ban like that?
Sir, I think that a blanket ban cannot be a probable solution, cannot be a long-term sustainable solution. Rather, we can introduce regulation into the street food, and at the same time, we should also ensure that the regulation and the provision that are mentioned in the regulation are implemented in the ground level.
Okay, I get that. Suppose you are the DM or SP of a district and you are ensuring hygienic food being sold at the street level. That's your charge. How will you go about implementing this policy of ensuring hygienic food at street level?
Yes, sir. Sir, firstly, sir, I just joined in the service and I don't have many more knowledge regarding the safety norms. However, sir, as per my limited knowledge, I think that as a DM or as a SP, I should need to communicate with the food safety officers, designated food safety officers, and district food sub-inspecting officers, so that they can do their job in a well manner. They can interact with the food business operators. While doing the inspection, they check whether all the provisions mentioned in the FSSI rules and regulations are followed or not.
Are there enough food safety inspectors to do that in a district?
Sir, as per my limited knowledge, limited experiences that I have seen in this last 1 month, I have seen that Like in the district where I got posted, there were 6 food safety officers total, and they were allocating certain blocks, and they were doing their job well. As of my limited experiences, I think, sir, I need to work many more time into there before having much more knowledge about this sector, sir.
Okay. You are an agricultural scientist, and you said earlier that you learned you learned a lot more from farmers by seeing them work than what your theoretical knowledge help you, right? Now, Panchayati Raj institutions all over the country are supposed to have a role in agriculture. Do you think there's a role that they are playing effectively in agriculture now?
Sir, sir, I have not ever studied the role of Panchayati Raj institutions that are playing and that are integrating with farmer directly. Means I haven't gone through any research documents or anything. However, sir, my limited experiences has helped me to see that in many parts of our state, they are doing better, sir. I think, sir, I need to study much more regarding the integration, sir.
Okay, let's go outside the country. India is having problems in its relations with Maldives. What is happening
Yes, sir.
in the Indo-Maldivian ties?
Yes, sir. Sir, lots of things are happening because we have seen that how in the recent past some authorities, significant authorities of Maldivian government has put some derogatory remarks regarding our honorable Prime Minister and his activities regarding Lakshadweep. However, then the President of Maldives, Muhammad Muizzu, has stated that it was independent comment. And however, sir, then the president has give a ultimatum to Indian government to take out of uh, all the personnel deployed over there to in the sea at the sea level. I answered also. We have seen that how Maldivian government approached to China to seek their assistance. These things are happening in the Indo-Maldivian relation. However, sir, at the same time, as of my knowledge, our honorable external foreign affairs minister has already said that as we give much more priority to the concept of sovereignty. So Maldives, being a sovereign state, sovereign country, can take their action.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
You've been a student of Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya.
Yes,
There
sir.
is policy of JNVs to what's it called? Integrate or linking up with JNVs of another state.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is that policy called?
Yes, sir, it's a JNV migration policy,
Right.
and I was also part of it, sir, in
Where
class
did you go?
9th.
Where did you go
Yes.
to?
Sir, in class 9, I went to JNV Bariahi. It is in Sharsha district of Bihar, sir.
Oh, okay. So,
Yes, sir.
now, do you think it's a good policy? Is there any use from this migration policy?
Sir, being a part of JNV migration policy, I think it's a very good step, sir, because it helped me to get know about their culture, and it helped me to get out of my comfort zone way back in class 9 to meet with new people, to talk with them, and also, sir, eventually I improved my Hindi speaking after
Okay.
going there, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Thank you, Bratati. That's all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Bratati, can you hear me and see me?
Yes, sir, I can see.
Yeah, okay. Bratati, that is the end of this personality test. We
Okay,
have
sir.
taken about 55 minutes. Normally, UPSC takes 25-30 minutes, not more than that. Now we will give our feedback one after the other. And
Okay.
at the end of that, if you have any doubts, you don't have to note down. You ask for a video of this recorded version, and you will be able
Okay,
to,
sir. Okay,
replay it and see.
Okay, sir.
Then at the end of the feedback session, you can ask questions or seek clarifications, if any, from any of
Okay,
us.
sir.
Okay. Now,
Okay,
at the outset, I must tell you, since we have taken a long time, 55 minutes. So that's because you are quite promising. You have a good demeanor, and you are very confident in your replies. And wherever you are not aware, you are honest enough, which is a good trait to admit that you are not aware or you need to prepare more. You also have a commanding voice, and that's your strength. And you also used one word of caution, actually, while appreciating that you use some relevant jargon, though you don't have to unless you are very confident about the depth of those concepts, like disruptive technologies. Okay, all right. Then the financial intermediaries, digital divide. So you should get ready to get drilled, in depth over those concepts. So before you choose, when you are chosen rightly at the right time, you also should know more about it. I'm saying this fundamentally because on some of these basic issues, for a person of your understanding and knowledge base that you have, you can't afford to say, I don't know what is the rainfall, being an agricultural scientist.
Yes,
You
sir.
studied
Yes, sir.
BSc Agriculture and MSc Agriculture. You can't say I am not aware. So,
Yes, sir.
so this is only to tell you, because this session is a constructive criticism session. Unless we tell you, you will not be able to see
Yes,
what's
sir.
wrong.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you
Yes,
must
sir.
know about rainfall, your own crops in West Bengal, your own district. Okay. And which crops you are specialized in. Also, well, my friend will explain more about Vandana Shiva. You can't
Yes,
afford
sir.
not to know. That
Yes.
activists of genetically modified crops, and Monsanto, the fight that that has happened against Monsanto and all that. Anyway, just to impress upon you that you cannot be ignorant on fundamentals of DAF that you yourself have explained. Like agriculture is your subject, so you are expected to know. If you don't know, it's okay. You are not expected to know everything under the sun or sky, whatever. So, but then these are the fundamental things. So, better keep that in the back of your mind. And also listen to the questions sometimes, though you are very confident in answering some questions, you don't have to be very elaborate in answering when the question has a closed end. Like Prime Minister's what about crop insurance? How is it working in India? The response is Prime Minister's agricultural insurance, all right. Then we also started talking unrequired, which was not required, about PM Kisan, how it
Yes,
can
sir.
be improved, how agricultural labor should be included. It's okay. You don't have to display all your knowledge in that small limited question, and instead give scope for wider number of questions, so that you will get the much better percentage in the interview, which will take
Okay, sir.
you higher in the merit, because every mark counts there. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And finally, before I pass on to my friends, my colleagues, you don't have to be defensive about your limited experience, your limited knowledge, limited. We know that you have no experience and you didn't work, you have taken leave as soon as you got employed. So you don't have to keep on saying with my limited experience, because you don't have much experience in the job.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So you don't have to be defensive. That's the point. All right.
Okay, sir.
Otherwise, you
Okay,
are
sir.
quite promising. You will do very well. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Bratati, I just get an impression
Yes,
that
sir.
as far as your subject is concerned, you are rather very bookish and textual. Okay. In the sense, I was a little taken aback, rather surprised, I must say, that such a very aggressive activist and votary of seed freedom, Vandana Shiva, uh, you feigned ignorance about her, comes as a big disappointment. Hmm?
Okay, sir. I will read, sir.
Yeah, you must have an idea of not only Vandana Shiva, maybe there may be others, but she comes across as a very prominent activist, and
Yes, sir.
she's actually fighting against the WTO regime of TRIPS as far as seed patents is concerned.
Okay, sir.
Because I asked that question because you did your PG in seed science.
Yes, sir.
So you must go a little beyond your books. And for a good public servant, what is required is, keep your eyes and ears open, what is happening around, who is talking what, things like that, isn't it?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, your book knowledge will, give you good marks in academic exam. But to face an interview of this, particularly, offering yourself for public services, requires a different set of skill and exposures and all that. So that's one. And let me also caution you that there is some confusion about some basics. Probably you read so much that now you have forgotten the very simple things. And you were, a bit apologetic when you said this, whether certification is voluntary or labeling was voluntary, and between the two, which one is voluntary and which one is compulsory. Couple of things like this, the fundamentals. So it's
Yes,
quite
sir.
natural, someone who reads too much, suddenly when you ask basic things, what happens is we are in a bit of a confusion. So get your
Yes, sir.
basics right. Get
Yes,
your
sir.
basics right. Just go through all those fundamentals once again, have clarity in your thing. But otherwise, I have nothing much to, tell you by way of other improvements. Probably others may have something to tell you in terms of, enhancing your potential for scoring more marks. But my simple advice to you would be, get to know about people, the movements, huh? And
Yes, sir.
social activists, ecological issues,
Yes, sir.
and people who are advocating certain causes. As far as your domain is concerned, I'm not talking about others actually, which is something which is basic. That's why I said you are very good academically, but then when it comes to your awareness about things happening around, looks a bit shaky. So
Okay,
try
sir.
and update yourself, but otherwise you are very good material. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Bratati,
Yes, sir.
I could see you have a tremendous energy. Your confidence levels are very good, I must say. You are also very articulate on number of issues. But only thing is you have to take a little caution in answering. Sometimes, it's always better to answer to the point so that you don't get further questions on a matters which are you're not very sure. In some other cases, I could see you are going, in my limited experience, limited. These are all not required. You stay whatever is, whatever you know about it, and stop at that. Like, when I asked about the governor's role and, West Bengal problems. So brief, have, and, brief answers rather than going, you are giving an example, but that example really doesn't cater to the main issues there. So, example, if I ask for an example, you can give it, but otherwise there is no need for that. In fact, you are wasting your time and you are unnecessarily inviting a controversy. In fact, that you should avoid as far as you can.
Okay, sir.
And brush up, because you can expect questions on agriculture definitely, because you are you have chosen an optional, and also you have experience as a food, and you also working or worked for a few months at least. So you reasonably should know issues around the agriculture, and what is the latest developments. In fact, when I asked about the farm laws and other things, you said, what are the remedies as a aspirant. You should always think a problem solving attitude. What went wrong? What could be done to improve the situation? That should be always in the back of your mind. So with that few aspects you take into account, you will be able to do well, I must say. You are a very good potential to get selected in the interview, and all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Bratati,
Yes,
I
sir.
found you quite cheerful, quite confident, and articulate in the responses to most of the issues we discussed. One point I would like to make is that, while your awareness levels are quite high, in structuring your answers, you are starting to be balanced overall. However, your views from the critics of all the issues that we discussed seem to be a bit lower side. I think you need to read up. As my co-panelist said, you should know Vandana Shiva. She's been a champion of so many things in agriculture. Then there's Devendra Sharma. Then you should be aware of the battles between Monsanto and many Indian companies
Yes,
or
sir.
PT Cotton. Then you mentioned Terminator gene. The
Yes, sir.
Terminator gene technology caused havoc for some time in the media. The negative implications of all that. Similarly, BT brinjal. And then the
Yes.
latest is, GM mustard. The
Yes,
Supreme
sir.
Court ruling
Yes,
also,
sir.
because they did not want to intervene in nor support the ban requested by the environmental group for the okay given by the GEAC. GEAC is the
Yes, sir.
uh,
Genetic Engineering
Engineering
Approval
Approval Committee of the
Yes, sir.
Interministerial Committee. Now,
Hmm.
so some of these things are quite important, and also in the overall context of India's agriculture, farming, the small holdings, the low, economic strength of farmers to, get into high technology, and all this needs to be, taken into consideration. And if you really want to leapfrog, feed so many people with the best of agriculture products, how you should go about introducing this latest technology. And I think you are quite reasonably right in saying, you should be, experimenting with these in, say, vegetable crops or, non-cereal to start with. Therefore, you can get better results and then take the technology forward. So your attitude and approach seems to be reasonably okay. And also on, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, Green Revolution, I think you're expected to know more because Green Revolution, while, there's no denial that it has made India from a ship to mouth
Yes,
situation
sir.
to feeding millions of mouths, even
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
even abroad. So we are now a net exporter in
Export.
many
Yes, sir.
crops, food items. So that tremendous success story is on one side, but the other side is the degradation of soil, the environmental issues, the havoc that chemicals and fertilizers have played, the problems that are leading to farmer suicides. So many aspects that have come out needs to be understood and explained. And your answer should be short and crisp, not, long and, throwing some jargon also so that, it will lead to more unnecessary discussion on that. But I think overall, I would rate you as a very bright prospect. Sharpen your answers, be thorough with the current issues in your state, especially, the controversial issues with the state government and the union government. My colleague asked you about the governor and the chief minister, but, the chief minister versus the prime minister are larger issues that are going on, and how the center-state relationship will impact West Bengal in terms of development. I think please brush up on those subjects also. And I wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
Yeah, Bratati, you have a very
Yes.
pleasing personality. So that's a big plus. Now you have two issues. One is agriculture, the second is your food safety officer rank. These are both your strengths, but you should see that they don't become your weaknesses. You will be expected to know about them. So I can't think of, I don't know, even when you talk of seed certification, that should be avoided. But the other problem or the other strength that you can have is you can expect questions on these two definitely, whether you have experience or not. But on agriculture, without any doubt, you will be asked. So your response should not immediately go into the micro details of that. Get a broad answer first. See, I'm asking you a fundamental degree level answer. Don't give me a PhD level response. You can start with a degree level answer and progress towards much more detail and depth. Third, I missed out the discussion on the governor, but I thought giving the constitutional provision on the governor's role would always be a good starting point. and you can expect questions on the governor considering what has happened with the current and the previous governors and the government. And lastly, the question of Maldives. See, current affairs are important. You should be knowing them. And Maldives is a hotspot for India. So your entire answer was, you are answering to people as if I knew the answer and you were just telling me. You didn't give me any new facts. You didn't say what is the problem. You just said some intemperate remarks and then Lakshadweep, etc. There are some basic things in elementary level, the troops out policy, anti-India stance, etc., etc., etc.
Okay.
So go into bare details, but yes, the panelists should know that you know the answer. Okay, and personally, I find it slightly odd when you talk of Maldivian authorities. They were not Maldivian authorities; they were ministers of the government who made those
Okay.
remarks. Second, Honorable Prime Minister, look, you're not addressing a public gathering. See, in such in an interview and all, if you say the Prime Minister, that's good enough. It's not disrespectful. But that's how I look at it. So, you are respectful. You can definitely stick to that without going into these euphemisms of Maldivian authorities, etc., etc.,
Okay, sir.
and being respectful, saying whatever you are about the constitutional authorities. That's about it. Thank you and best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Bratati, now that you have got the feedback from all of us, you have any
Yes, sir.
questions or clarifications?
Yes, sir. Sir, regarding the panchayat and farmers that last sir has spoken to me. Sir, actually, what document should I read? Because I haven't gone so far this thing.
Check out the devolution of powers of Panchayati Raj institutions.
Okay.
You'll have an idea of what is happening in the field, and more than what is written on on paper, your experience as a field officer or as a field scientist would come in useful. They do have a role to play, but I'm not a great fan of what is happening. Although the sector of agriculture is complicated enough, and whether it allows or not is something you have to draw from your experience. So just check out
Okay,
the
sir.
Panchayati Raj documents and you'll know the devolution of
Okay,
powers,
sir.
and then see if
Okay.
that is happening in the field.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, if I can add, interestingly, the Panchayat Raj system, and if you look at rural India, the role of women in agriculture to
Yes,
even,
sir.
village level panchayats and activity, politics, India is rated as the country with the largest number of women participating in, the grassroots level politics. It's a different matter whether they have any role at all in decision making, but in numerical terms, the visibility role of women at the grassroots level seems to be very, very high. Productivity, impact, leadership, decision making are issues that you need to look at whether they are effective or not.
Okay, sir.
So anything else, Bratati, that you want to ask?
And sir, regarding the social media question, like whether the self-regulation or independent regulation, was my answer was in right way or should I change, sir?
No, I think you are quite balanced in the response to that, because these are all very evolving. Freedom of the media, the social media is something new it's a new animal for all of us. So there are a lot of developments, and you are trying to give both versions, saying self-regulation should be one aspect, because as media, self-regulation has been the cornerstone of Indian newspaper industry for a very long time. So even today we don't have the regulator is the Press Council of India, not the Government of India. However, the new media like television or broadcasting corporation is regulating it. So taking care of that, the government wants to regulate social media also. Now the negative effects of government involvement in freedom of speech expression are very, very hot topics for debate. So you don't need to take a stand saying that regulation is good and government has a greater role to play. So you can say both, freedom of expression should be there and regulation where necessary. If the government is thinking, you can cite them through the, steps being taken to regulate OTTs and also the bill on privacy data and all that.
So,
unless
BRATATI,
the is good, you don't
Yeah.
need to wade into that.
Means a self-regulation should be there, but so independent regulation, what should I tell if they will ask, sir? Regarding independent regulation, that whether like
The independent regulator is an idealistic situation, no ideal situation.
yes, sir.
So that's an ideal situation. If you can find people of such conviction who can, oversee this, is the best to have.
See, the only point that you should note, BRATATI, in such questions
Yes, sir.
is that there could be some questions out of the box. There are no definite answers. What is expected
Yes.
of you is to see whether you are consistent in your replies, whether you are batting well, whether when probed, whether you are defending your own answers, or you are opposing, or there is some kind of a conflict that you yourself are creating. So there could be questions which are out of the box. For instance, when I said, why can't food inspector be under the police department wearing a uniform? Okay, there can be any number of answers. Saying food inspectors themselves can wear a long white coat. That itself is a uniform that will bring them respect. So there are no definite answers to several of the questions. It's only to pick your brain that some questions are asked. So be consistent and do well. Be very confident in whatever you say and give a logical answer, a commonsensical answer which you are expected. Okay. Anything else?
Sir, in that question, that uniform, my answer was sounds logical, na, sir?
Yeah, that's quite logical.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. God bless you.
Okay.
All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.